So, what really is the root cause analysis of my problem? When you really think about it, there is a macro problem, and the macro problem really is a physician shortage. But the micro problem really looks at what can we do at my university to alleviate the macro problem. And when I dig in a little bit more to the specifics of my problem, it's more to the extent of how can we better prepare our students to get a residency so they can alleviate the physician shortage. So when I take a look at the whole picture, let's talk about some of the facts. First, we've had low match rates. Prior to 2012 or 2013, we weren't officially reporting match rates, and that's because it wasn't a requirement. As we have been owned by our mother company, or mothership, I should say, Adtalem Global Education, formerly DeVry Education Group, we've been asked to make sure that everything we report out is compliance approved. And we did have low match rates. I don't know how low because I wasn't part of it, but I know that as we've gone from 2012, since the new leadership came in, we've been recording our match rates, and they've been in the mid to high 80s, which has really impressed not only other Caribbean medical schools, but students when they choose to go to Ross. Additionally, we also had low board exams, or low board scores, I should say. Throughout the last 2 to 3 years, our exams first time pass rate is anywhere between a 93 to 97%, which is amazing. But prior, it was probably in the high 80s, low 90s. And I have to say, low student satisfaction. When I started on Ross in 2010, student satisfaction was probably at an all-time low, probably in the negative 40s. Right now, we're probably in the positive 10s to positive 20 because of everything we've done. So, what are we trying to really achieve here? We're trying for our students to get a residency and to be successful. We want them to come to Ross, have a great education, get good advisement, get good experience, and then be successful physicians. And that means getting a residency their first time during the match. We want them to do well in their standardized exams. Doing well in the standardized exams, you get a residency. And we want them to listen to their advisors and their alumni. So a lot of students listen to their friends, which sometimes they don't know everything. But if they listen to their advisors and alums who have been through this process, then they will be successful. We want to ensure that we increase our student support. We want to ensure that when we do that, our outcome is match. We also want to ensure that we have a better alumni association, because it stems from the beginning. You do well at Ross, you want to be part of our alum network, and then you mentor other students and they do well. And it's kind of this revolving door that goes, which is the process. Additionally, in order for our students to do well, we really need to standardize our exam policies, which we have, which are in effect actually early January 2018, based on some of the pilots and some of the information we got. And last but not least, it's definitely faculty development. We need to make sure our faculty really understand how to advise our students, because it's important. And in order for this to be supported, we need support from our dean, from our senior leadership team. I can tell you that for the last several years, we've been supported on all of our initiatives. At one point, we recruited 32 new positions to Ross, which was close to $1.5 million. We also need support from our Alumni Association. We've started to really ensure that our alums are not only part of our events, but they participate in teaching. Some of them are teaching our students in hospitals throughout the United States as well. And the biggest of all is advocacy. We need to make sure we advocate not only on behalf of our students, but for our students and from our students. And that's something that's been going well. So what's worked well and what can be improved? We've had a lot of pilots which have been successful, like the Alumni Mentoring Program, which is one of the discovery tests that I will be doing, as well as we've also mentored students on standardized exams. And we've also changed new policies, like I mentioned before. So a lot of things have worked well, and I can tell you our student satisfaction scores have skyrocketed through the roof as well, like I mentioned. What's the outcome? It's simple. High match rates, high student satisfaction, high standardized exam rates, higher retention, higher graduation rates, which means we will be an excellent school. We are an excellent school already, but I know we can do better. And how we get there, it's really continuing to build on what we've already done. Continuing to build on our pilot programs, also increasing our student resources. We pay for a lot of resources which we don't charge the students for. And also engaging in public advocacy. Dick Durbin, who's a senator, hates Caribbean medical schools, but yet he doesn't know everything about Caribbean medical schools. So we have a government relations team that really works to ensure that everyone is aware. And, with that, the only thing holding us back really is the stigma against Caribbean medical school students, and also of students just not listening and doing their own thing. That's something that we continue to work with them on. We want to make sure that they understand that we give them the best advice. We know that they have friends, but sometimes, like I mentioned, it's not good advice. And really recruiting great talent for us. That is an obstacle for us. We want to make sure that the talent we have can mentor correctly and can make sure our students match. You can't guarantee a student match, based on grades, but you definitely can make sure that they interview really well and they can impress a program director and really make the Ross name known.